Well, we're gonna try to do this quick today. Um, it's gonna be. I'm gonna try to jam pack a lot into a short period of time, just for your guys' sake and for TikTok's sake. Uh, I appreciate the views. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate feedback. If you guys have opinions about your teams, if you hear your team, feel free. But let's just get right into it. Let's just start with the NFL. That's tomorrow. We're coming off a big week. A lot of big games. A lot of big. Uh, this is the last week 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. The last 5 weeks, I guess, if you conclude week 14. For the Thursday night game, we got Cowboys and Lions. Two teams fighting for a playoff spot. Lots of implications. Cowboys, they win, their hopes are alive. Lions, they win, their hopes are alive. One's I think a 6-5-1 team. The other's an 8-4 team, if I'm correct, or 7-5. Yeah, 7-5, 6-5. So they're the same record. They're fighting for a spot. You know, it's we're at that time of the year. Um, so for the Sundays games, we got Tennessee Titans will be in Cleveland to face the Browns. Seahawks will be facing the Falcons in Atlanta. AFC West, Colts in Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. Commanders will be in Minnesota to face the Vikings. Bills will be hosting the Bengals. Saints will be in their rival, the Buccaneers' house, going to Tampa Bay. Steelers and Ravens in Baltimore, that rivalry. The North, AFC West, or sorry, AFC East, we have the Dolphins and Jets in MetLife. And in the West, we got Broncos in Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Am I wrong? So just out of all those games, big game for the Jaguars. They can take firm hold of top spot. Seahawks with a win just helps keep because that entire division, the NFC West, is absolute brutal. There are three teams that have 9 wins. Really hard. Bucks need a win to keep firm pace. My Broncos and the Raiders wasn't a very entertaining game last time, so I'm only expecting it to be a similar affairs. This time it's at 3:05. It's not prime time. Thank goodness. Rams in Arizona to face the Cardinals. Bears in Lambeau to face the Packers. And it looks like the Sunday nighter is Texans will be in Arrowhead to face the Chiefs. Texans, they could take a firm hold. They could take another step to taking a firm hold of the division with a win over the Chiefs, putting the Chiefs in a subpar record. Bears they could win with a win, seal their division as the leaders. Rams just add to their wins. It's not to me it's not even a contest. And then of course the Monday nighter Eagles in SoFi to face the Chargers. So that's where that lies. Chargers to keep pace. They need a win. Yeah, that's a couple of teams on bye. Let's go NCAA football. Power rankings came out yesterday. I'm not too worried about the power rankings. I'm more worried about the schedule. We're in the last couple of weeks, week 15. Big boys, we versus Georgia, Alabama versus Georgia on Saturday. We got Duke and Villanova, Indiana University versus Ohio State. Yeah, so we're not. This is not gonna. Yeah, this is gonna be it's more or less. I'm more focused on NFL power rankings. Alabama is 9th now. They're not 10th anymore. Yeah, so that's going to be reversing. Looks like Oklahoma again, but we're 10-2, so that's fine. Ohio State and Indiana are undefeated. That's going to be fun. That's going to be very fun. Um, just to see that down the stretch. We'll see what happens in the future. NBA. I'm not too sure how. It doesn't really. I don't really get too much updates on the NBA Cup. I know my Raptors have been doing good. I don't think it's. I'm pretty sure it hasn't started. Pistons, Raptors still doing good. Pistons doing phenomenal. Heat, Knicks, Magic, Cavs, Hawks, Celtics, and then 76ers and Bulls right behind. Then we'll go with Thunder, and of course in the West, head above heels above everybody. And then you got the Lakers, Rockets, Spurs, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Suns, and Warriors. Grizzlies and Trailblazers. I thought the Mavericks were going to take a step forward. I thought the Suns were going to take a step backwards. But it looks like the Suns and the Timberwolves are kind of like just keeping pace. Everybody else is pretty straightforward. We'll see what happens. NHL. Let's go do some hockey here. Right now, it just looks like, yeah, pretty straightforward. Hurricanes, Capitals, Devils, Penguins. Look, Capitals were last, and now they're in the second. They're with a few wins. Blue Jackets have moved into that place. Blue Jackets were ahead above everybody almost. Look at that. Our division, it was literally 8 points dividing top, literally the top eight, all 8 spots. Especially the 4 points separating the top spot, 4 spots. So yeah, Hurricanes, Capitals, Devils, and my Penguins. So that's Flyers right behind because we got the win a couple of I think it was last night. Lightning, Senators, Red Wings, Bruins. Canadians moving out. Maple Leafs still looking out. Panthers worst in their division. That's also because of all the injuries. I have to point that out. Sabres, even with all the draft picks, they're not panning out because what I'm about to say about the Anaheim Ducks is opposite. Finally, they're maturing. Finally, you're starting, and they're finally getting the goaltending that they need to help these draft picks. And now look at them. They're in the top spot, 1 overtime loss. Yeah, 9 losses, but still. It goes Ducks, Golden Knights, Kings, and then Sharks. Even the Sharks, they're the Kraken, the Oilers, Canucks, or Flames, all those guys looking out. Predators, Blues, Jets, Mammoth, all looking out. Mammoth are starting to come back. It's Avalanche, Stars, Wild, Blackhawks. Look at that. Blackhawks make a few pickups, get the first overall pick, Connor Bedard, and they're making a splash, and that's what I mean. So, but it's only 20 some games. We're barely even 30 games in. Let's still got a lot to go through, so let's just keep going, and we'll go from there. NCAA basketball, women's. What do we got here? Lots of basketball. I'm just gonna Kentucky and Miami. Yale looks like it's playing. BYU and Washington State. I'm looking for my team. They're probably. I just can't see them. Or no, they might not be playing because it's a Wednesday. Yeah, Arizona. A lot of teams playing. A lot of good teams. Anyway, might as well just find out when my Tar Heels are playing Texas tomorrow at 6. Okay, so that's my women. They're playing Texas. Looks like in Texas. And for the men's, I'm just gonna look up a couple of yeah. phone's just taking forever to charge. Anyway, or load. Uh, Clemson, Alabama. That's playing tomorrow. I thought my Tar Heels would be playing. I don't think we're playing till Saturday. Doesn't look like. Yeah. Oh no, we're playing Sunday. Yeah, Sunday against Georgetown. That's what I thought. We're playing. That's why I wasn't showing up. Anyway, that was unfortunate. We got Champions League though. Coming up, let's look at some of the. I think I went through it last week. Yeah, my Paris Saint Germain got a red card and stuff like that. Let's look at week 6. In December here, because then, yeah, match day 6, because the next one's in January, and it's actually January 20th, 21st, and then the next week 28th and 29th. So, or all one day on the 28th. Anyway, but yeah, so the next one's not for a month, so let's just go through Champions League and the other tiers, and I'll get at it. I'll get at the wins and the losses for the other leagues. Karat hosting Olympiacos. The Kazakhstani are hosting the Greek. Bayern Munich hosting Sporting CP. So the German hosting the Portuguese champions. Chelsea's on the road against Atalanta and against the Italian Goddesses. Monaco are hosting Galatasaray. So the French are hosting the Turkish Union Saint Gillois, hosting Marseille. So Belgium's hosting French. Eindhoven hosting Atletico Madrid. So yeah, the Dutch hosting the Spanish. Barcelona hosting Frankfurt. Spanish-German matchup. Inter Milan. So this is European football. Inter Milan hosting Liverpool in the Italian English matchup. Tottenham hosting the Slava Prague. Villarreal hosting Copenhagen. Quarbag is a Benijani hosting Ajax, the Dutch. Leverkusen hosting Newcastle. Real Madrid hosting Man City. Benfica hosting Napoli. Brugge hosting Arsenal. My Paris Saint Germain on the road against Atletico Bilbao. Against the Spanish. The Juventus hosting Paphos, the Cypriot. Dortmund hosting Norwegian Motogomek. So we'll worry about those next week. Let's get at some of the last week for Europa. Villarreal won. The Turkish over the Hungarians. Fenerbahce won. Victoria Pleas and Freiburg drew. Porto over Nice. The Portuguese over the French. Celtic over Rotterdam. Ludogorets won over the Spanish, the Bulgarians. Roma over Midland, giving the Dutch Denmark, Danish. Sorry, I get that mixed up. Midland is Danish, giving the Danes their first loss. Lyall giving Dynamo Zagreb their clean sheet. Thessalonica and Braun drew. Same with Rangers and Braga, Bologna and Salzburg in a match where the Italians came out on top. Stuttgart over the Go Ahead Eagles on the road. Lyon defeating the Israeli Tel Aviv in a clean sheet, pushing them all the way out. Looks like one of the teams that are eliminated so far, Panathinaikos over Sturm Graz, the Austrians. Nottingham Forest with their first clean sheet. I thought that was going to happen, early on. Real Betis over Urek, and Red Star Belgrade over the Romanians. So also the Genk over Basel over the Swiss. So yeah, the Belgian over the Swiss. And so let's go with match day 6. Let's look at Young Boys hosting Leal, Nice holding Braga, Ferencvaros hosting Rangers, Zagreb hosting Real Betis, Sturm Graz hosting Red Star Belgrade, Ludogorets hosting Thessalonica, Utrecht hosting Nottingham Forest, Midland hosting the Belgian Genk, Stuttgart hosting the Israeli Maccabi Tel Aviv, Celta Vigo hosting Bologna, Basel hosting Aston Villa, Celtic hosting Roma, Porto hosting Malmo, the Swedish, Lyon hosting Deventer, the Go Ahead Eagles, Romanians hosting Feyenoord Rotterdam, Freiburg hosting Salzburg, Panathinaikos hosting Victoria Plzeň, Czechs, and Braun hosting Turkish Fenerbahce. And let's look at the Conference League. I think it was the fourth. Yeah, Zrinski beat Haken, the Swedish. Posen handed the Swiss, I think it is, Luan Sport, their first loss. Alkmaar defeated the Shelbourne, I think that's either Scottish or Irish. Czestoa beat Rapid Vienna. Slovan Bratislava beat the Spanish Valenciano. Sigma defeated Soleil, also being undefeated. Ammonia defeated Kiev. Hamrun defeated the Lincoln Red Imps. Craiova beat Mainz. The Germans, Reka and Larnaca, drew. Larnaca being undefeated. Samspor and Bredbleck drew. Samspor undefeated. Strasbourg beating Crystal Palace. Shakhtar Donetsk beating the Rovers. Aberdeen and Noah drew. Athens beat Florencia. And the Italians their first loss. Dorita won. Sparta Prague defeated Warsaw. And Lagonia Blalstak beat Finnish. So look at week 5 and on the 11th of December, because December 18th is also when they finish up. So they finish up next 2 weeks. Let's just look at the teams. I'm just gonna go through the teams. Florentia and Kiev, Bredbleck and Shamrock Rovers, they are Irish. The North Macedonians and Bratislava versus hosting Bratislava. Dorita hosting AZ, Kraitova hosting Prague, Sparta Prague, BK Haken hosting Larnaca, Lagonia Bialstak hosted Real Valenciano, Samspor hosting Athens, Doha hosting Warsaw, Shelbourne hosting Crystal Palace, Finnish hosting Luan Sport, Posen hosting Mainz, Lincoln Red Imps hosting Sigma, Reka hosting Soleil, Aberdeen hosting Strasbourg, Hamrun hosting Shakhtar Donetsk, Czestoa hosting Zrinski, the Bosnian Herzegovinian, and Vienna hosting Ammonia, the Cypriot. We'll worry about that later. And MLS final taking place, what is it, this weekend? Inter Miami will be hosting Vancouver Whitecaps, their first ever MLS final. Mula, Messi. It's going to be fun. Love you guys. That is it. Say something nice. It'll change somebody's life. Appreciate the views. Please give me feedback. Let me know what you guys think. This is my basketball jacket, by the way. I'm a huge Tar Heel fan. But, again, I do have a soft spot when it comes to football. But when it comes to football, it's all about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Anyway, love you guys. Go Broncos, go Penguins, go Raptors, go Tar Heels, go Crimson Tide, go everybody, go Canada. Tune in to the World Cup draw happening, I think, Friday. See you guys there. Love you guys.